right. Good morning, you guys.
Good morning.
I'm so excited to ask you these questions. I know a lot of people are going to be interested with what you have to say.
All right.
So, how did you guys meet?
Latin class. If
What?
you ask Zach, but
She doesn't even know where we met. That's the most ridiculous. No, I'll tell you.
middle school.
No, we met in 6th grade Latin class. I can tell you it specifically. So obviously you made an impression, but I must have not made an impression. 6th grade Latin class, we had like an Olympic, like Olympic event, and you have to do like events, and we were doing this race, and that's where I met her.
Because you were trying to beat me.
Because
But
I won.
I won.
I let you win.
Oh, here we go.
I let her win.
Now we're getting down to it.
All the guys out there, you gotta let her win.
Okay. I don't get that vibe from Kayla at all.
No,
Okay.
she didn't let me win. I probably lost terribly.
So you guys have known each other
Since we were 12.
since you were very young.
At this point in time, I think that I've spent more days on this earth being with Kayla than without Kayla.
It's interesting too. It's
like
like parallel to
19 years
Chris
now?
and Kim.
Yeah.
How
19
cute is
years
that?
now, is that what it is?
It's more than-
Math is hard. We learned that yesterday.
Pretty sure it's 19 years.
I don't think we should ask Zach about math anymore.
All right. So, did you guys know early on in your relationship that you wanted to pursue owning a business?
So I have always liked being kind of the leader, or not being the owner per se, but to be in charge of things.
Okay.
But that's my personality.
How do you
I
like
don't know
that, Zach?
about- I don't know about a business, but
I'm good with playing my role. I think we're both very type A, but we balance ourselves. Like Kayla's definitely more organized and systematic versus me. I'm a little bit of a wild card sometimes. So I don't know, I would say more visionary. I have a pretty good understanding of where we're going.
Yeah.
Or I'm a big dreamer, and then Kayla then comes in and supports the dreams, which is always super helpful.
Absolutely.
Obviously, for me, I guess I had entrepreneur spirit at heart. I used to collect golf balls and like, I don't know, when I was really young,
redistribute
and
them.
then redistribute them
For a profit?
yeah. I've had other ventures too, but we're not going to talk about them today. And redistribute them. Like I think I used to collect golf balls and sell them for $4 when I was really young. So I always had that entrepreneur spirit. Plus, I am a terrible employee. I am is what you'd call unemployable. So I think I had one choice: either be homeless or be a business owner. So
Now
here I
that
am.
you say the golf ball thing, I sold my books that I never read on the corner of the street when I was little.
On the corner?
My parents would always joke around with me and say, the price tag's still on it. You didn't even read it. I'd bring my wagon up and go to sell them.
They're very nice.
Yeah.
I'm learning so much about you. Okay. So, when did you guys know that you were interested in real estate specifically?
I was always interested, whether I had the natural interest or I was interested because my parents were doing it. Since I was, I don't even know, 7, I
Wow.
started doing yellow letters, I think.
Oh my gosh.
7, 8. Ever
That's like
since-
second grade.
Yeah. So more of a comfort zone for me, that I know it and confident with it.
Well, just in case people don't know what yellow letters are, can you tell them what yellow letters are?
Oh, like mailers.
Yeah.
When you send a letter to a listing that is not on the market. Right?
You're doing
Am I
really good.
not explaining that correctly? You're staring at me like I'm
No,
not
I was just
explaining
making
that
sure
correctly.
everybody knew what yellow letters were.
Okay.
Because we're dropping terms, and some people don't know what they are.
I'd fill in the addresses, stuff the envelopes. Off
Awesome.
they went.
Yeah, $1 an envelope.
I don't know what I got paid. Dad, what did I get paid for those?
10 cents. Oh my gosh.
10 cents per envelope. That's a lot of envelopes.
Or just being able to have a horse, I guess. That was payment enough.
There you go.
Right. Yeah.
Well, tell them about that before I talk about real
About what?
estate. So people get to know you a little bit more. Like,
I like horses.
really?
I've been riding since I started stuffing envelopes. You guys are learning so much about me.
So dry. I love it. As far as me with real estate, I never thought I was going to be involved in real estate. Didn't really have a desire to be in real estate. For me, it was a way out of being a bartender and a personal trainer. as a way out of that industry and sleeping during the middle of the day and waking up early in the morning and staying up really late at night. It just, there was no life that we could create, and we wanted to have a family, and living that lifestyle was not going to happen. So that was my way out, and then I got stuck in the mud. Here I am. Here I am in real estate.
So do you think it was because Kayla maybe, has so much experience with real estate and has been around it? Because, being stuck in that, of course you want a way out, but I imagine there might be other ways out. So do you think it was more, do you feel like Kayla influenced you more so, or did you, I don't know.
It's a good question.
That was a pop question.
Yeah, pop question. No, I like it. So at that point in time when we were making our jump from bartending.
So we were leaving bartending. We decided we had enough. I think my body was taking a total toll. Well,
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So I was just like, I'm done. I need something else. And I think I was coaching the URI riding team then.
We're finding out more and more about Kayla. Specifically horses. That's
It's like nuggets. I like it.
So I was assistant coach for the URI team. And then I was like, I'm done bartending. I think I started again with pre-property and the Smart Coach admin stuff. And then you were like, why not?
Yeah, you and I were at a point where it was either going to be, we're going to go full into like MLM or direct marketing.
Yeah,
we're either going to do that because we were into health. We're going to do that or pursue real estate. And you know what they say, find the smartest people around you and pair up with them. So, obviously Kayla had a major influence that, or I wouldn't have known my in-laws or my partners. So, I went to Chris and just said, hey, I don't know if I'm going to like real estate, but let's try it.
I think then you were doing a lot of personal development too.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that obviously my dad works a lot on personal development as well.
Definitely.
So maybe that might have been a drive as well. Maybe I'm talking for you. I don't know.
See, she's always in control. No, my personal development started when I went through, my addiction and all that fun stuff. And if you haven't read our book, I have the first chapter in there and I talk about it. But really, I had to start working on my mind, or my body and then my mind, just because I knew about health. So I worked on my body first and then my mind, and that's when I got really into personal development. And from that point, I think that was when my growth mindset started and said, basically, anything I put my mind to, I believe that I can achieve. So I said, real estate, why the heck not? Let's see where it goes.
Yeah.
And started making phone calls in between personal training and bartending. And then after about, 60 days, you then made the leap, and then I made the leap. No, I told people, I said, I think we had like $6,000 in our bank account when we decided that we were going to cut off all other sources of income and just go full-fledged in real estate, where we only eat, what we do. So as soon as we do deals.
I think back to my random tidbits of me, I think I just sold one of my investment ponies, and we had a little chunk of change from that.
So yeah, we're always into entrepreneurship.
Yeah,
whether
seriously.
golf balls or ponies or
Right?
Books.
Or books, right? Books with your price tags on them. We love it.
Discount price.
So Kayla, you just alluded to how you were, for people who are newer to this community, they probably didn't even realize that you were so in the mix. You were running basically everything behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And I remember because
from when you
were
started.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. So what was that like for you guys working together?
Well, I think a lot of people ask that question, like how did it end up with you two working together? How did that dynamic work? But we worked together, but we weren't ever working in the same room or that sort of thing. I think it was more hard when something wasn't done and I was like, Zach, this should have been done. And then it was more of like, that was the harder part of not anything difficult. There was never like an argument. It was more like, well, I thought it was done. And then he would like, go and run and do it type thing. but it wasn't very difficult. I think we work well together.
Yeah, I believe we work well together. We've been working together on so many things because we've been together for so long. But one of our major goals was to have you go home, be home full time when we had kids. So we were able to achieve that, and I'm super grateful for that. But I I never saw that we had a bad dynamic at work. I think it was just another added piece that we wanted to have a family, and that needed to happen. So
Yeah, like it never ended. Well,
It
we
still
always,
doesn't end.
always, you try to put the time limit when you get home. Like you finish work at this time, no more talking about work. But I mean, things come up obviously because things either an issue or good or bad, and you try to only talk about. Because we all work together. The family rule is if it's not positive, then you can't talk about it when we're all together because then it would just be business, business, business when we're at dinner together or any family function. So if it's not positive, then don't talk about it. But
yeah, I think that's
try to-
important for everyone that's just getting started to working with their spouse, because I know a lot of people come to our community and work with their spouse, and I think it's also important for you to decide like what you do well together, though, too. Meaning like what's your strengths and weaknesses when it comes to this, because as I said, Kayla's extremely organized. She still keeps me organized. And then I
think
knew what
set
I was
you up
good
with
at.
all your time blocking.
Yeah, I would say that you played a major role. So anybody that's done any type of our time blocking training, Kayla's a major influence there on that. So, so you still have an impact on the community. They just don't see
Look
you.
at that.
Thanks, guys.
Reverberates.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you guys said that because that was actually another question I had for you. So it can be very difficult. I mean, of course, I'm speaking from experience as well, working with my spouse, to know where your business day ends and when your personal, your relationship, and your family begins.
Yeah.
So you guys just sort of talked about that. Are there any other specific boundaries you guys had to put into place to make sure that you were nurturing, or at least keeping something sacred?
Yeah. So
No
at
boundaries. No boundaries.
Don't recommend that.
Business all the time.
yeah.
Stay focused, everyone.
Oh man, sometimes it feels like that, but most of the time we have family dinners. We do our highs and lows. So you say we go around the room. Even our son does it. Bellamy, we ask her, and she usually says blue.
Yeah,
'cause
blue
that's
is
her
always
favorite color.
blue
Well,
is always
blue is
the high.
amazing,
Yep.
But so
Or
your
Elmo.
high, your highest point of the day, your happiest point of the day, the best part of your day. Your low, what's the lowest point of your day, and then how can you fix it? So just having that family time is just talking about it, and work gets brought up then, but never just for it's your high and low, so it's
Right.
facts. And then at dinner time, he shuts off his phone usually unless there's a onesie twosie thing, and then Sundays is family day. So we just set certain times that
Good.
we can be like,
Yeah.
this is only family time, no business.
Yeah.
I think there's an ebb and flow.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna lie to you and say that there's a really a family business balance. I don't work family. I don't think that that's real. I just think that there's gonna be ebbs and flows. Like this week, am I gonna be spending probably twice as much time within the business because of this event
Right.
versus with the family? Absolutely. I'm here at 6:30 in the morning at this event, and I usually don't get home till about 5 o'clock. Versus some other times where at least I have some additional time with the family. But then there's other times like when we go to Stowe this upcoming week, we go up to Vermont. It's going to be dramatically different. It's going to be like 80% with family, 20% business. So
Right.
I just
Yeah.
think you have to understand the ebbs and flows of being an entrepreneur and then be okay with that because it's a completely different lifestyle. And you have to have the right support system around you, whether it's having your spouses work together like Kayla and I did originally, or if you're handling it on your own and you just need a spouse at home to support you. It's always going to be an ebb and flow.
Yeah, I think that's really important because you're right. It's not like you clock out at 5 every
Right.
day or something, right? So you have to sort of be adaptable.
Yeah.
And I think it's an adjustment that takes time to adjust.
Yeah, what works for you and your family, everyone's different.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, so actually that leads me to my next question. So having 2 young kids, having multiple
I
businesses,
have those.
how are you managing the stress?
So
What do you do?
Okay.
I don't know if I
So
call it stress.
Yeah.
I just
What
think
would you
it's
call it?
Stress is a loosely used. I
Juggling?
guess. Yeah.
I don't know.
Our balance and juggle act.
Okay,
I don't think
perfect.
we ever
That's good.
realized like, oh, we're stressed. I think that's how fast we're going. Well, I was late getting here.
But you're right on time. It's okay.
So I mean, just dropping the kid off and school and the little one. So we have 3.5 and 1.5. Most of you guys have seen them around or heard about them or hear them in the
In the background.
background. Like the little ones here today. But it's kind of like setting the boundaries and the ebb and flow. It's just going with it. You just have to go with it. And we both need our times and both need to do our stress management of our me time. Certain things that you need to do for yourself, you need to take time and go do it for yourself if you're feeling, I guess, overwhelmed, I would go with instead of stressed.
Overwhelmed. There you go.
If you feel like everything's kind of weighing heavy on you, or you had a rough day at work, or you had a rough day with the kids, I think he comes home sometimes and he's like, I just need to go for a run. I need a half an hour. I think that's a major thing that we have grown better with the kids, is being like, raise your hand and say, I need this time for myself.
Yeah, I got to tap out for a
And I
minute.
think that's important for your
And that took us
brain, your
time.
health.
Like, I don't think we did that as well when it was just Remy. I think
So
now that
basically
Remy and
we
Bellamy
do it
are
now
here.
because we don't have a choice to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
You kind of need that. You need your you time. I think we've both learned that. It's really important.
And I think all of us went through, those of us that have young kids or even, just kids period, because our kids are growing up in like this COVID era, it became much more on the parents versus it's being spread out through like a village. Like some of the, like Remy, we held back from going to preschool, and now he's finally going in because he would have went last year, which would have helped with that whole adjustment with Bellamy, and so it becomes more on the family here. So I think it's extremely important to make sure that you're raising your hand and tapping out for 20 minutes, half an hour at a time.
Doing whatever gets you going.
Yeah.
So his is always a workout or going in the woods for a half an hour or whatever.
Or 3 hours.
Or a day.
Whatever you're allotted.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I think it's really important, because it can feel very overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's
for sure.
communication, I'll tell you
Yeah.
that. And I was a terrible communicator. My family did not communicate. I mean, if my mom's watching here, my mom and dad used to fight like terribly. They loved each other, but they used to fight. So communication was not taught. This is something that just has taken time and having a set vision of what Kayla and I want our relationship to be and to grow into, and then how we want our family to communicate. And so it's just taking time to set that up. But communication is key because unfortunately, when we have tough days or, feeling overwhelmed, if you're not communicating that,
It gets
then-
worse and
yeah, it
it
gets
builds
worse.
up and you get more stress or more overwhelmed.
then all of
Totally.
a sudden now you're doing all these things, you're building a business for the wrong reasons. And you're not actually getting what you want out of it. Because we all know, like, real estate is not, I don't go in every day and say, I just want to do transactions. No, we build a real estate business because of the lifestyle that it can provide us. And if that lifestyle is not, in a happy, positive way with the kids and with the family, then what the heck are we doing it for?
What's the point? Right. Okay. So has there been any point on your journey where you maybe wanted to just give up? Like, has there been a point where you felt so overwhelmed, or maybe, had I don't even want to call it weak, but had a human moment where maybe you felt more doubt than maybe you felt before? Has that happened?
I think we have different answers for this.
I want to hear them both.
Yeah. Go ahead, leader.
Because I see your face. I don't think I've ever been like throwing the towel on out type thing. I think if you're that stressed and overwhelmed with whatever you're doing and you feel that heavy that you want to get out, then get out, because life is short and you got to enjoy it. So I think I do what I enjoy to do, and I don't think you should do anything else.
Which makes sense that you probably don't feel stressed so much, right? Because you're liking what's going on.
Yeah.
What do you think, Zach?
Is this a loaded question?
No, I think it's a great question because I'm just thinking through the past 7 years. I'm the type of person that I like the worse things are going, like the more I like hold on to or force. It's like, all right, if this is a down week, I got to go put in more work. I never like to say, hey, I should take a step back. It's like it's forcing it, and that's something that I've kind of learned. But I can't tell you that there's never been a day where I haven't been like, what would life be different if I did something different? But I've never been at a point where I haven't been pursuing the dreams in which we want to accomplish. I think what I've learned is that there's no there's no right path. There's no forcing a path and being okay. I think Cammie said it yesterday, which I have to do way better at. But it's been sticking in my mind. Or she didn't say yesterday. She said Associate Dev Day. And the word surrender. The hardest thing to do, easiest thing to say. And I think I've learned over time that if things aren't going right, it's like, all right, I put in my best effort. Now just let go.
Yeah. Yeah, you like to fight.
I am a fighter. Oh my God. If things are going to shit, I am in it.
Yeah.
I am digging deeper.
You're gonna win.
Yeah. So I can't say I've ever wanted to give up, but there's been moments in time in which I've been like, I need to just take a step back and take a break. So
Yeah. And I think I'm glad that you were.
Answer to your question.
Well, no, I think you both were very honest and very vulnerable, and we've talked a lot about vulnerability this week, and I think it's important for everybody, especially newer people, to recognize that even people that we look up to, right, have gone through maybe similar struggles. So I appreciate you sharing that part of you with us. I think that's
it's
helpful.
still a concept that I still haven't grasped. That you said that people look up to you. It's just like we're just pursuing our dreams just like everybody else.
Exactly, right.
So.
Right. But again, you guys are running and we want to run with you. So,
Love it.
So I guess I'll ask you this because it's very obvious that you two are supportive of each other and you're both on the same page when it comes to what you're building. What advice would you give to somebody who maybe has a spouse or a partner that is more hesitant, say specifically in this type of real estate or real estate in general? What if your spouse or partner is more reserved, doesn't really buy into what it is that you want to do? What do you think people can do to navigate that?
Well, I think for education is key. So, and also you can't.
I'm just laughing because I'm just like, I see this opportunity, we're going for it. And then she's like, whoa, hold on, what the heck's going on?
Yeah,
We're picking up and we're moving. This is what's happening. And she's like, whoa, but where are we moving to?
Yeah,
Trust me, I have this idea. We're moving there.
Yeah, I'm a researcher and I need like the information, the time. So I might be that spouse.
Okay.
That is hesitant or like, hang on a second. But same breath, if you're educated about the situation, then you're good. But with a spouse that is like Zach, that is ready to get up and go, I think you got to have some kind of balance, that you got to be supportive. Because like I said before, you only live once, and you got to have some faith and trust in your partner.
Right. And I love the way that you just said that about education is key, because I think a lot of people sort of hold back from potential opportunities because they just don't know enough about it.
And it's new, and
Right.
change is scary.
Exactly.
New
Yes.
is scary.
Totally.
But change is good. It keeps your brain fresh. It keeps you living.
Right. Growing. Good. So what do you think, Zach? What would you say to this?
There
Oh,
she
hello.
comes.
I would say this is change. I think the key thing would be, and I've seen it happen too many times, the biggest downfall of associates or people that have not been successful is because they don't have the spousal support. It's huge, because at the end of the day, entrepreneurship is already scary enough, and if you can't go home and have some stability, right, Bellamy?
Say hi.
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 What's your favorite color?
Dan.
What's your favorite color?
This.
Oh, that's the favorite color. And if you don't have it, then you're already starting with one leg. It's just not possible. So what I would encourage is that you involve your spouse day one with helping make the decision. Like, I've had many people on here that say, I got to go home and speak with my wife. I said, well, is she attending the event right now? Because that's the only way you guys are going to be able to pursue your dreams, is if you get everyone on board.
When you say that, I always think of when I want to get out of something, I'm like, let me ask my husband.
Yeah, exactly.
So easier escape
if
clause.
anybody ever says that, I'm like, it's an out. I know. Well, my mom always told me if I didn't want to do something, I felt uncomfortable in a situation, just said my parents said I couldn't do it. So now I blame Zach.
Let me
My
also-
parents have gone to Zach.
No, let me also say this, though, because there's always going to be somebody that's ahead of the other partner in certain situations, whether it's business or family or ideas. So like when we're pursuing a new idea, there has to be the first one to step up and make that decision and say, look, this is what I envision. I need you to be a part of this, or I'd like for you to be a part of this, really. Can you help me make this decision, but know that, like, I don't like my job. Like when we were saying as bartenders, like we don't like this. We're not gonna stay here. We're figuring something out, and this is based on my decisions. This is or based on what I know right now. This is something that's gonna help us get to where we need to be. Maybe it's not long term. Maybe it's just the first step. But somebody needs to be in that driver's seat, and that's your job to show that vision.
Right, and if you're passionate about the change, then make the change too. Because
especially if you don't like your life too. Like that's like at one point in time, a bartender was just like, we don't like this. I'm sick of being a zombie.
Hard. Yeah,
so maybe you're not a bartender, maybe you're somebody else. But if you're feeling that way, then you have to make a change, and then your spouse they'll get on board once they see how much happier you are. But you got to be willing to make that leap.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And for me and Steve, I was the one that's ahead.
Yeah.
And he was more like,
Hesitant.
I don't know. But I think you're right. I think it's a balance, and I think it's trusting your partner.
Right.
You know, trusting their ideas and trusting their thoughts.
Exactly.
What's the worst that's going to happen?
Yeah, you fail.
Yeah,
It's all right.
you fail.
Do something else.
You go back to being broke. Like
Yeah.
you
have
figure it
nothing to
out.
lose.
You figure it out. I don't know. I grew up with not much money, so I always say to Kayla, "What's the worst thing? We're gonna be broke. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
We've done it before, right?
Hi, Dad.
Hey, Bill.
So
We probably got like room for like one more question.
Okay.
I'm looking here.
okay. So, is there anything now, looking back, you guys wish you had done any differently? Like, is there anything that you guys have gone through or decisions you made that maybe looking back weren't the best? Anything you can think of?
I think I always look over you. You're smirking.
That's what I do.
I think your journey is your
smirker.
journey, and you have a path for a reason, and things happen to you for a reason, and you are who you are because of your path. So I don't say I would regret or change anything that we've done or I've done.
I completely agree. I've been asked that so many times on podcasts. If you could go back and tell your 18-year-old self something, I would say absolutely nothing.
Yep.
Just, we are who we are. We have to go through what we have to go through in order to be who we are today. And that's it.
I think that is directly, you just alluded to a growth mindset. And I think that's directly connected to that. Because even if there is anything you can think of that maybe, that didn't turn out how I wanted it to turn out, at least you learned something from it, right? So you
Exactly.
still appreciate, even if it wasn't maybe your happiest or best moments, you still can appreciate everything that you've been through because it's gotten to where you are right now.
Yeah, I think
We've
together
been through
and
some shit.
Yeah.
We have been through some major things. So too many.
Yeah.
But
I was
wouldn't
just
take it
about
back.
to say that it's not like we've had like everything's perfect. and
Hunky-dory,
everything's
unicorns and
great.
rainbows.
Yeah. No, we've been through some stuff. Everybody has, I
Right.
think. Everyone has their own journey. And yeah, no. Wouldn't change it.
Well, Kayla,
Right?
thanks for coming.
Yes, Kayla.
You're welcome.
My better
Even
half.
through the school buses
I
and the
made
police
it.
My
cars.
better half. Thanks for coming. And thanks for everyone watching this panel.